Hey, what's up everybody? I'm back once again. Chris Chavez here with Phandroid.com, bringing you once again the Android overload for Monday, April 8th until Friday, April 12th. These are your top Android news stories. Alright, so on Monday, someone got a hold of some leaked images of Google Babel. Now, as you guys may or may not have heard, Google Babel is supposed to be, I guess, just Google's unified messaging service, almost like a souped up version of Google Talk, which has needed an overhaul for quite some time now. Google Babel is supposed to, or Babel, I guess they're calling it now, Babel. I have to look up the biblical definition or how to pronounce it, but the guys at TechRadar actually secured some images or screenshots of somebody using it inside of Gmail. So if you go on your Chrome web browser and you open up gmail.com, you know how you can send little Gtalks and stuff or messages through there. Someone had Google Babel or Babel up and running on that. So it just shows a bunch of really cool emojis. They have a ton of emojis. We actually have them right now in Gtalk, but other than that, you can send picture messages, which I thought was really cool, but for some weird reason, in order to do that, the screenshots show that you need to have a Google Plus account or create a Google Plus account in order to send picture messages. There's been some rumors that Google Babel is going to unify, I guess, just some of the messaging stuff as far as Google Plus goes and Gtalk. Google Voice is supposed to be rolled into that sometime in the future, but apparently, according to rumors, it's kind of up in the air at this point. When it comes to SMS messages, they're going to keep that separate. So this is just going to be a souped up version of Gtalk, it looks like. Of course, we'll hear more at Google I/O in May, so be on the lookout for that. I'm pretty excited. It hasn't been too long since we saw the all-new Google Play. I believe it was maybe around last year when it finally rolled out. At first, for many years, we had the Android market. Google decided to rebrand that as Google Play. And then earlier this week on Tuesday, Google finally rolled out an entirely revised, revamped, and UI overhauled Google Play 4.0.25. It looks pretty cool. They use an all-new card interface. We've talked about it in previous Android overloads in the past. Card interface, it's a very minimal. Icons are now huge. It doesn't have a grid interface. Our magazine interface is gone. It's just an app taking up entire lines. It looks pretty cool, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people don't like it because it's so white now, and then now when people think of white, they're not necessarily thinking of Google Now, which has a similar UI. They're thinking back to the Froyo days of Android when everything was white. Ever since Ice Cream Sandwich or Honeycomb, Google went towards this Holo UI, and everything became black and blue. So I'm thinking this could be a hint as to what we can expect Key Lime Pie to look like if Google has possibly overhauled the UI a little bit. We'll have to wait and see though. All right, so yesterday I wrote an interesting, I guess more of an editorial / rant on the Nexus 4, and I kind of got a lot of flack for it over on Phandroid.com from people in the comments and stuff. What happened was the previous night I bought a Nexus 4 not too long ago, maybe about a week ago, and just to kind of tide me over until the HTC One came along. And while I was not really driving, but while I was in my car, I picked up my friend from his house. I went to shift my car into automatic mode. It's a sports shift. Apparently my car is for girls or something, judging from the people in the comments. But I went to go shift my car into automatic and dropped my phone about 2 inches. So from my shifter to the center console area, it dropped 2 inches flat on its back, and I knew instantly what happened. Ever since I've had this phone, I've been paranoid that I'm gonna crack it. I've seen countless stuff online from other posts on other websites about people so much as putting it down on a cold surface and the change in temperature actually cracked the back. It's insane, but I've been paranoid, and it finally happened to me, and I just got so upset. I finally decided to write a little rant about it, especially when I'm usually super careful with my devices, and there's no reason, any phone, anything, if I dropped a glass cup from that height, it wouldn't have even broken. So there's no reason for something like this to happen to any phone, and I think this is a serious design flaw with the Nexus 4, so if you're considering buying the Nexus 4, just know that it's fragile. Possibly even more fragile than you previously have heard. I didn't listen to my friends. Every single one of my friends that have Nexus 4s, they have shattered glass on the back, and it kind of freaked me out, and I didn't really listen. I thought that I'd be more careful, that there's no way it would happen to me, that it can't be that fragile. No, this wasn't a waist-high drop. Again, 2 inches flat down, cracked, shattered my Nexus 4. So this will be the last Nexus 4 I buy. This was probably the worst idea to ever include glass on the back of the phone. The front has Gorilla Glass. This isn't going to shatter. I've seen drop tests from, whatever. Back always shatters, front never does. So that's just my little rant on the Nexus 4. And if you're paranoid about build quality or maybe cracking the glass on your phone, then I don't recommend you get the Nexus 4. It's essentially the Fabergé egg of smartphones. And just as we're about to wrap up the news for Friday, there's some more rumors on the rumored Motorola X Phone. As you guys probably know from my previous videos, the Motorola X Phone is supposedly, there's just so much kind of misinformation about it. It's all rumor at this point, but there was a leaked video of a guy playing with this crazy awesome looking Motorola device. Apparently that was a prototype for the X Phone, and all we really know is that it's going to kind of be Motorola's new, almost like a flagship of sorts that's going to have almost a stock Android looking experience, but they're still going to have like Motorola widgets and a couple of other little Motorola tweaks here and there as far as software goes. Hardware, it's supposed to be pretty awesome. Apparently it was going to launch sometime in June or July of this year, which is just coming up right around the corner, but it's been pushed back and delayed until August or later. Now, from my previous videos, I've told you guys before that there's no way Google is going to announce a Motorola X Phone at Google I/O. Anytime Google announces a new phone, it's always towards the end of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if this Motorola X Phone is actually the next Nexus or something along those lines, and it's just going to be announced sometime in November, the end of this year. It just makes no sense for a phone to launch so close to it. Yeah, no. So the phone that's never really had a firm launch date, and people just kind of assumed that it would have come out at this time, and they heard from somebody's mother, has actually been quote unquote delayed until August or later, pretty much when I expected to see the device anyway, sometime in late summer, fall, Christmas, holiday season. So be on the lookout for that. Google I/O is still going to be awesome. We expect to see a lot on Key Lime Pie, and possibly a new Nexus 7 little 7-inch tablet. So I'll be on the lookout for that. We're going to be at Google I/O covering everything, and like we always do, we actually give away all of our stuff, all the free stuff that we get there. So be on the lookout for that, guys. And it looks like that's going to wrap up the Android overload for Monday, April 8th until Friday, April 12th. For links to all the articles I talked about here in this video, make sure you hit the description area. With Phandroid.com, I am Chris Chavez. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.